Assalamu alaikum. Hello everyone. My name is Mohammad Wajid, remote job wala. I am a student at Rihan AI Teacher Training Institute. I am doing AI Teacher Training course. So today I will take an interview with Sesame. So without further delay, let's get started. Hello Maya, how are you?
Hey, I'm doing well. Thanks for asking. Are you ready to get started with that interview you mentioned?
Yes,
Cool. What's the topic?
yes. Our topic is how to balance work and life without burnout.
Okay. Work life balance and burnout, a big one. Let's dive in. What's your first question?
Yes, my first question is what is the first step in achieving work-life balance?
Mhm. Oh, that's a good starting point. Honestly, I think it's setting clear boundaries. Way too many people treat work like it's got to bleed into everything else when you actually need to figure out where your hard stops are. When your workday is done for the day, it's done. What do you think about that as a first step?
Okay, so my next question is how do you define burnout? Please give me all of my questions answer in detail.
Mm, okay. So, burnout. I define it as emotional, physical, and mental exhaustion caused by prolonged or excessive stress. It's that feeling of being completely drained, not just tired, but like your emotional battery is flat. Shows up differently for everyone, but often includes feeling cynical or detached from work, a sense of ineffectiveness or lack of accomplishment, and physical symptoms like headaches or stomach problems. Importantly, it's not just about being overworked, it's about feeling like you're lacking control. There's unfairness and you're not getting the support you need. What part of that resonates most with what you've heard or seen?
Okay, so my next question is what is a common myth about work-life balance?
I think the biggest myth is that perfect balance actually exists, that you can somehow split your time 50-50 and everything will magically click. Life isn't that neat, right? Some seasons work demands more, others, personal life does. The goal isn't equal time, it's finding harmony, a rhythm where you're not consistently sacrificing one area for the other. Chasing perfect balance just leads to guilt when it inevitably gets messy. What's your take on that?
Okay, so my next question is how can you prioritize self-care?
Prioritizing self care is huge. People often treat it like a luxury, but it's actually preventative maintenance. Start with the basics: consistent sleep, nutritious food, and some form of physical activity, even just walking. But beyond that, it's about deliberately scheduling things that recharge you, whether it's reading, listening to music, spending time in nature, or just doing something that brings you joy. The key is making it non negotiable. Treat it like a meeting you can't miss. Do any of those things speak to you right now?
Okay, so my next question is what is a good way to set boundaries?
Setting boundaries is tough because it requires saying no, which feels weird at first. Start small. Don't check work email after 8 p.m. Don't take on extra projects when you're already swamped. Politely decline weekend work requests. Be direct but polite. You don't need to over explain. Just a simple, I'm not available works. Another trick is to time block your calendar, designating focus time and shutting off notifications. Your boundaries are about protecting your energy and attention. Once you get comfortable with saying no, you realize you're not actually being rude, you're just protecting yourself. Does that make sense?
Okay, so my next is how do you manage work-related stress?
Managing work related stress is a skill, honestly. You first, you need to identify what specifically stresses you out. Is it overwhelming, workload, difficult coworkers, unclear expectations? Then there are practical tools, break down big tasks into smaller steps, learn time management techniques like the Pomodoro method, and make sure to take regular breaks. But beyond that, there's the mental stuff. Practice mindfulness, challenge negative self talk, and remember it's okay to ask for help or delegate when you can. What's usually your biggest stress trigger at work?
Okay, so my next question is, what is a role of time management in balance?
One really crucial rule for time management is learning to distinguish between urgent versus important tasks. People tend to get caught up in putting out fires, the urgent stuff that's screaming for attention. But that stuff often isn't what actually moves you towards your goals. Important tasks, the stuff that really matters, your priorities, those often get pushed to the side because they don't feel immediately pressing. If you spend all your time doing urgent but unimportant things, you end up feeling busy but never making progress. Does that track?
Okay, so my next question is, how can you communicate your needs to your employer?
Communicating needs at work can be tricky, but it's essential. Start by framing it as a solution, not a complaint. Instead of saying, I'm overloaded, try, I'm focused on these priorities, but with this new project, I think we need to either shift some deadlines or reprioritize. Be specific about what you need: more resources, clearer expectations, adjusted deadlines. And pick the right time to talk, a one on one meeting rather than a quick hallway conversation. Be confident, but professional. It's not about being demanding, it's about helping your employer understand how to help you do your best work. Would you ever be nervous to do that?
Okay, so my next question is, what is the role of time management in balance?
Time management is basically the backbone of work life balance. If you're bad at managing your time, everything else falls apart. You work longer hours because things take longer than they should. You miss deadlines, you feel stressed, and there's no room left for personal life. Good time management lets you protect your priorities, allocate enough time for work and life, say no to things that don't align with your goals, and actually enjoy your free time instead of feeling guilty about it. It's the foundation you build everything else on.
Okay, so my next question is, what is the importance of saying no?
Saying no is so underrated. Seriously, it's not just about avoiding overcommitment, it's about respecting your own time and energy. Every time you say yes to something, you're also saying no to something else, often your self care, your family, your other priorities. Plus, if you consistently overcommit, people learn they can rely on you to say yes, and that cycle just keeps going. Learning to politely but firmly decline requests is actually an act of self respect, and it frees you up to focus on what truly matters. Does that click?
Okay, so my next question is, how do you prioritize tasks to reduce overwhelm?
To handle overwhelm, prioritize tasks by focusing on impact over activity. Start with the Eisenhower matrix: urgent, important. High impact, high priority, go first. Schedule them. Important but not urgent, decide when to do these. Urgent but not important, delegate if possible, or handle them quickly. Low priority, drop them completely. Another thing, start with the hardest thing in the morning. Getting one big win early makes everything else feel more manageable. And finally, remember to protect your focus by removing distractions during those priority tasks. What does your overwhelm usually look like when it hits?
Okay, so my next question is, how can you make time for activities you enjoy?
Make time by treating enjoyable activities like appointments. Schedule them and protect them. It sounds weird to put read for an hour or go for a walk in your calendar, but it works. Block out those chunks of time as non negotiable, just like work meetings. Another thing, start small. If you haven't done something fun in ages, don't try to plan some elaborate weekend getaway. A simple 30-minute block of doing something you genuinely like can make a difference. If you enjoy it, it's not selfish, it's essential for your overall well being. What's one thing you'd actually make time for if you could?
Okay, so my next question is, what is the role of sports systems in balance?
You mean support systems, right? I think you mean how do friends, family, and mentors play into this? Yeah, they're huge. Having people who understand your goals can offer perspective when you're stressed, or simply be a sounding board makes a massive difference. Venting to a friend instead of stewing over work problems can de escalate things quickly. Plus, strong relationships offer balance. They remind you what's important outside work. You can also find support through mentors who've navigated work life balance successfully. They've been there before. Do you have people in your life who support this side of things?
Okay, so my next question is, how can you use technology to improve balance?
Technology can be both helpful and harmful for balance, honestly. Like, use it mindfully. All on the good side, calendar apps for scheduling, task managers for prioritization, meditation apps for mindfulness. But also, set boundaries with tech. Turn off notifications during non work hours, designate device free zones in your home, and schedule digital detox times. It's about using tech as a tool, not letting it use you. Tech should serve balance, not sabotage it. What tech habits are you actively trying to manage in your own life?
Okay, so my next question is, what is a good way to set realistic expectations? Have you listened to my question, Maya?